Welcome back to the Moti Hour. Idle Prep here, and we are back with another episode. And just like that, Season 1 is about coming to a close just in time for the end of 2023. So if you haven't checked out the past episodes, go check them out. In this episode, we're sticking on the West Coast and going up to Washington State to talk with members of the SCM, or Seattle Dancerush crew. We got familiar faces of the community like Ryu and the rest of the crew. If you're ready, I'm ready. Without further ado, let's bring the house down.
I think a good analogy would be like...
I hate to interrupt everybody. Y'all had most likely an interesting conversation, but I would like to say that we are live on the podcast, so... Hello, Internet.
Hello. Hello.
I think we did have a pretty good conversation. Shit.
Shit.
I was like, there was like a good conversation going on. I was like, SpongeBob...
We should be recording this.
I think we're recording this, but I digress. We can save it for later. But anyways, so for those listeners on the podcast, we got the SCM Dancerush crew, or otherwise known as the Seattle Dancerush crew, here on the Moti Hour. So we got more people than the usual crew, but I was a little bit accommodating because these guys are really awesome, and I really like these guys. So without further ado, I'm gonna introduce my peoples from the right of my screen, which is Alex.
I'm going first. Oh crap!
Yes, you're going first.
Oh,
so tell us who
you.
you are and how long you've been playing Dancerush for.
Okay. My name is Alex, and I have been playing this game for around, say, like a half of 2018. So it's like not early 2018, but like at the near end of 2018, basically. Just been playing this game, but I have done dance before, but not to this extent, and not being more intrusive into going into it. But I will pass it to, I think, the right of me. Yeah, there you go, Bryson.
Thanks, Alex. Hey there, my name is Bryson. Made it on the Discord channel, and I've been playing the game about 3 months after the game was introduced. People claim that I'm one of the first people that was actually given the game a try as a 25-year-old DDR player. So I've heard other people in this chat and as well in public that me just being a dork on the game has inspired others to just give it a try, which is the premise of the game itself. So thank you to all those people. The game's a blast. I'm gonna pass it down to Shadowbuns.
Was that me? Yeah. Discord username Shadowbuns, real name Stray Sean. I've been playing since somewhere in 2018 is when I started. Usually just played by myself until I don't know who was it. I think it was like Alex. I met like Alex one day. Like what 2022 is when we made the entire Discord. I was like, oh wait, there's actually more than just me that plays this game. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna pass it to I don't know, Randy.
Yes, sir. My name is Randy, also known as Ryu, and I've been playing for right after the pandemic, so around 3 years. I didn't play like before, so I was actually really surprised to hear that both Alex and Trey, you guys played before. I thought you guys played after me, but yeah. Up next, Engelman.
Yeah, I'm probably like one of the newer players for Dancerush. I only started this year around February time. From my understanding, once we get to like the Seattle lore, I'm like the third generation of like Dancerush player of Seattle. So I have a lot of my interests was originally from DDR, and then I went into Dancerush, and that kind of made this year for me like very surprising and very fun. I'll go over that more in detail, like how Dancerush kind of changed, or maybe like accelerated my life this year. And I was able to unlock all the songs in like 8 months. Yeah, I love the game.
That's a flex.
Evan, you go next. Evan, you're muted.
Oh, I didn't hear my name. My bad. Yeah, my name's Evan. It's Quinn.shuffle on Instagram. I'm a local Seattle shuffler. I've been playing Bomani games for probably 16, 17 years. And I mostly came from DDR, 2DX, whole bunch of different rhythm games. But I got burnt out and started playing DRS. I've been playing since pretty much the day that round one got it. And I've been playing ever since. And I've really fallen in love with rave dancing, specifically shuffle dancing, DMB step, all kinds of stuff, and trying to get my inspiration from all other kinds of dancing. So that's me.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Well, we did actually touch about it for some of you guys. So, like, it seems like y'all, like, out of all the crews I've interviewed this season, this is like the most dancing background I've seen in some way of standpoint, or it's like either like in a way of also like the pipeline from Dancerush to like actual shuffling and like actual like dancing. So I guess just to like touch base on it again, if you guys like want to share if you had any dancing background or like if you started dancing from the game itself.
Yeah, you can go.
Who's gonna go first? That's the question.
Thank you. So being almost 40, in my 20s or so, raving was a bigger trend in Seattle. So that's kind of where I initially started, with a splash of some like aerobic stepping and a little bit of swing dancing from my dad, and what's that box style with the cowboys? Square dancing.
Line dancing?
Line dancing, thank you. As a teenager, as a forced recreational activity. And then dance like DDR, but that kind of loosely counts. In college, I took some breakdancing classes in addition to college itself, but that was just like totally recreational. But Dancerush more infused the aspiration to really kind of push to learn actual dance steps along with like shuffling, because shuffling's a lot easier on the body, especially as you get older. So.
Yeah, I can go next. So prior to Dancerush, I always had like kind of a passion towards dancing. I never got fully, I would say, involved in it because I didn't know, there wasn't really a good entry point for me to get into dancing. I was so focused in school and like getting my job, so I was like, I spent pretty much the first quarter of my life focused on work, school, and just getting a good job. And just like recently this year, I got into Dancerush, and then from there, initially just playing the game, I was just trying to get good enough scores for the game. It did feel very embarrassing to play in front of people at the start. I have to admit that. But eventually I made some friends on Dancerush, like these people and like others that aren't here in this call right now. And then that got me into like real dancing, like street dancing, like into shuffling and then locking, and then more street dancing, like popping, house, animation, breaking, whacking, hustle, like all these different dance styles. And then kind of like combining different types of dance styles into Dancerush was like a really fun part for me, because that's like a skill set in its own. Being able to implement different types of dance styles to different types of songs on different types, during like different parts of them, because sometimes like a part of a song really calls for like maybe like a pop, or maybe you can do a little bit of locking, or or breaking if it's like a lot of like hold notes, like you have the freedom to do that. And just like Dancerush being the catalyst for all of this is one of the reasons why I love the game so much. It made me grow as a person, like socially too. I have like tons of new friends from the dancing scene, including Dancerush and like the street dancing scene, and been able to find like a lot of people with like a lot more common interests, like anime, much of that weeb shit, like even Dynasty Warriors and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy, like finding people with like similar interests just from this like Konami based freestyle dancing rhythm game. Of course, like a lot of my roots is from DDR though, because like that was probably the first game that introduced me into rhythm gaming. So even though Konami's a little piece of shit, like I do have to give them credit where it's due. They did kind of like build me into like rhythm game culture and Yu-Gi-Oh. I can show my Yu-Gi-Oh card collection later, but
Oh god.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Not the Yu-Gi-Oh collection.
Yeah. Okay, since I'm talking, then I might as well go next. Yeah. I say a little backstory is that how I got into rhythm games. That I actually, oh my god, man, no.
Pulled out the Stardust Dragon. Damn.
Yeah.
OG
How-
Cyber Dragon First Edition.
Oh, there are two of them now. Oh no,
Oh,
Randy,
God.
no.
Sorry, Alex, go.
Yeah, you're good. You guys are good.
Keep going.
No, this is fun. But a little backstory: how I got into rhythm games is that I played demo actually, and that's actually, and I started to I played demo on the TV and on my phone. Then I transitioned to Nostalgia OP3. Then I was like, I saw a lot of people do dancing, and I seen it was a very old video a long time ago, but there was this guy who used to freestyle on Pump It Up. I was just so mesmerized by that. I forgot his name though, but when I saw that, I was just like, oh wow, I was enamored. And it was after that, I was hoping and praying that there might be a rhythm game that had a lot more freestyle oriented, because I felt restricted when playing Pump It Up or DDR. But then when Dancerush came onto the scene, my whole thing changed. I finally felt like I can get into this. And with a little bit more backstory on the dancing scene, I took in a swing dance in my younger years, but in a way this game helped me socialize more, because I always actually been a more introverted, more recluse, and more held back type of person, because I never really wanted to be in the limelight or so. Even though I have the potential to, I never really want to take it. But the community and seeing all of my fellow dancers in and out of the arcades, just it's just so mesmerizing, because I took bits and pieces of you guys as a little souvenir, if you will. It's taking taking some locking, taking some shuffling, but I held to my roots in electro swing and swing dance. But just it all meshes together into one giant cooking recipe, basically. And that's basically in a way how I would say I gotten into this, because I saw you guys play, but I played it before. It's just I never really had that much of a social media presence or that giant out there, because I know you guys exist and I know I exist in there. It's just I'd rather stay out of it until now. I feel more comfortable in sharing this story out here, because it's really just a fun time seeing the day crew and night crew. Always fun. I will pass it to Trishan. I'm gonna pass it to you. Yeah,
bro. Okay.
Yes.
As for dancing history, I've been dancing since I was 7, and I am 23 now, so 16 years. But during that time, I never did anything pretty much anything close to pertaining to Dancerush, all this hip hop, breaking, locking, stuff like that. No, I did ballroom, I did waltz, tango, salsa. I did a whole lot of partner stuff. So
that's impressive.
So in the beginning, up until then, I never had to dance by myself. I always had to dance with a partner. But I always loved dancing as a whole. Hell, I even I played all the Just Dance games, Dance Central on the Xbox Connect. I love dancing.
Yeah. I'm happy that you said Dance Central, but yeah, okay.
Yo, Dance Central. But I also liked rhythm games, and so basically DDR was perfect for me. Only thing was at the time when I know about it, I was 13 and had no means of actually getting to a DDR machine. So I made do with just playing a normal rhythm game, and I started I think Osu, because I was free on my computer, everything I needed. So I pretty much just did that, and at that point, it was just a backseat for dancing for me, because I mainly did it for school performances, because the school is what made me get into dancing. We had to do those performances. So it's not like, oh, I love partner dancing. It was more like, no, I'm partner dancing. But luckily for me, I actually liked it. And then fast forward to when I finally was able to drive, I was like, oh yes, I'm hitting up a DDR machine. And I immediately went to like round 1. And from there, I played DDR. I was like, man, this stuff, it's kind of hard. So I looked at Pump It Up. I was like, oh yeah, this is easier. So I'm going to play Pump It Up. So for like a good like couple months or like even like a year, I think like even 2017 is when I was able to drive. For like a good year, I'd play Pump It Up. And then I saw people on like the Dancerush. I was like, oh, what's that? I was like, it looks kind of odd. And then I saw, I vividly remember like what got me into it was I saw a couple playing verses against each other, and they were playing Disco Nights. I was like, yo, that song's a bop. I was like, yo, that's awesome. Like they were grooving, they were spinning, they were doing everything. I was like, I want to be that. That's what I want to be. So I waited for them to get off, and I got on. I was like, oh, this game's and I immediately fell in love. I mean, it was a complete genre, like different from what I did. Hip hop, no pianos, no chandeliers, no masquerade parties. It was just all footwork. I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And from then on, for the next few years, I'm not really into like social media, socializing. So I pretty much just kept to myself when I played Dancerush. And I was pretty much like that from 2018 to 2022 until some group of people, I wonder who, noticed me playing. And then it was like, oh, hey, you should, we're making a community. You should join us. I was like, you know what? I guess. And that's when I got opened up to everyone. Pretty much, I didn't know there was a huge world, like a big community, or like a bigger community than I thought. And that's pretty much how I got here now. And it also, because of that, now inspired me to like go into looking more at like hip hop. I haven't really like tried taking like actual lessons. It's more like off on the side, look at videos of like breaking lessons or locking. Kind of like recently I've been into like tutting, like, you know, like the hand shape movements things. That stuff looks awesome, so I've been trying to look into that. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Very awesome. So who are we gonna pass it on to, since that's the theme right now?
Bryson, do you remember?
Evan and Randy. Whoever wants to go first.
I can go first since Randy's camera's off and muted. So I don't really have a dance background. Again, my background was mostly from general rhythm gaming. I played DDR when I was a kid. And as I went on, I think my first DDR was Max 2. There was a bowling alley near me that had DDR Max 2. And kept playing that through the years. I got into 2DX, started playing more rhythm games. I think my first was like Serious Resort Anthem, one of those old 2DXs. And I started getting... I'm from the Northeast, by the way. I'm originally from Massachusetts. And the arcade scene there is pretty old, actually. There's a old arcade that used to be there called Tokyo Game Action, and that was like one of the first import arcades in the US. And they had 2DX, DDR, Street Fighter. Like, they had Street Fighter 4 on day one. Like, they purchased all the kits for Street Fighter 4. They had all these Ribbomani games. They had, Para. They had Keyboard Mania. They had Dance Maniacs. They had boatload of, classic games. Now, this is before my time. They closed in, I think, 2008. But because of that, it really spawned a giant scene in the area for import rhythm games and import games in general. So, little did I know, as I grew up and I was able to go places, that the area had a pretty thriving scene for Bimani games. And I started getting more into the community there. And as time went on, I started getting more and more involved. I had purchased DDR machines. I'd owned several. I played all these games for quite a long time. And eventually I kind of burnt out a little bit before Dancerush came out, actually, I was really deep into DDR. I was, going to Dave and Buster's every single day because they just got an ace, and I was just grinding and grinding and grinding, and I was starting to get burnt out because the other thing is there's a very competitive scene for DDR in that area. A lot of very good players, maybe not like top 10 level players, but better than I was. So you'd be beating your rivals by perfect counts on a 17, and it's not fun at that level. It started getting really boring, and just frustrating. And then Dancerush came out, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm gonna get really into this. It's very casual, and there was only a few people playing there. This was at Silver City Galleria, which was a round 1 location that's now closed, actually. One of the few in the country that's closed. They closed because the mall got purchased. It was a very dead mall. But I think it was maybe 3 or 4 of us that played the game at that location. I'd always been really interested in rave dancing. I listened to hardstyle and hardcore growing up. I was like super into electronic music. So like I knew about all these types of dancing, but I never really had the opportunity to practice. I had no real reason to practice. Massachusetts has no really club scene. It's all bars. So there's not really a time and place, and like there's no festivals or anything in the area. There's not really, the big artists don't really come there. So this was a good opportunity to me to start learning. And after I moved to Seattle area in start of 2020. Very bad time to move. I went to round 1, and there was a 16-person line to play Dancerush. It was a massive crowd around this game, and I'm just like, oh my god, these are my people. I can't believe it. And everybody was very sociable, very different from the Northeast rhythm game community, which is very sticks to themselves, tries to keep themselves in like just grind out scores, basically, not super friendly. So that's kind of how I got to Dancerush, and from there I started getting really involved in the local like shuffle dance scene. Specifically, I'd really always been attracted to shuffling. I've kind of tried to branch out a little bit more recently, but I've gotten more involved with like meetups and going to festivals and more events. So that's kind of the path I'm on, is trying to branch out and integrate all those new styles into shuffling.
Very nice, very nice. Also, Northeast represent. Now, last but certainly not least, Randy, whenever he comes back on.
He's saving that battery.
Bro.
Dude, my
Dude, saving the battery.
Oh.
What was it? You cut off, Randy?
You are on life support, my guy.
Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah.
Is it choppy?
Yeah,
It's choppy.
Yeah,
Kind of, sort of. Not really, but...
Okay. Well, we'll try and do this for as long as I can.
Okay.
But... yeah. So, how I got into Dancerush, I originally I've had 0 dance experience whatsoever. I always saw, like, dance talent in my high school, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. I wish I could do that. But I just, like, never ended up doing it. But one day in high school, one of my friends, Charles, he started taking up breakdancing. And I was just like, oh yeah, that's so cool. And I decided to do it a little bit with him, but I could keep up nowhere near with him. But I think mainly from the b-boy inspiration is where a lot of my like foundational moves come from. Like, especially if you watch me dance now, I love the b-boy top rock, and you see me throwing out hands like how they do with just a simple two-step. Backtracking more on like the rhythm game scene, I've actually never really played rhythm games either. The first real rhythm game that I actually got quote unquote good at was Muse Dash, and that in and of itself is kind of degenerate. But besides Muse Dash, I started really actively going to the arcade just because of Waka. I loved Waka so much, and I'm so sad that it's dead. Rest in peace, Waka. But one of my senpais, I don't know if you guys remember him. What was his name?
No way.
Do you remember him?
You. I can only remember one person instead, Jay.
Jay?
Yeah, Jay is the only one that I can think of right now.
Fuck. His is. Oh my god! It's been such a long time since I talked to him too.
Yeah, he contacted me today, but he's gone vacation. Was
Dude.
like he wanted the new gym song. I was like, bro, contact Min or somebody to like help you.
Yeah.
He just downloaded Discord. Ugh. Oh dang, I'm sorry.
You're good. But yeah, one of my senpais that I was playing Waka with was like really urging me to play Dancerush this whole entire time, and I was just like, no, I'm not cool enough, I'm gonna make a fool of myself. But it wasn't until after the pandemic where me and my friend drove all the way down to like Eugene, Oregon, just because our South Center round one wasn't open. And so I was really craving to play Waka there. So we took a whole day trip, drove like 6 hours just to go play a stupid little game. And it was during that trip that I decided to give Dancerush like an actual shot. And I vividly remember playing Butterfly like 10 times in a row just because of that one like stutter step pattern that they have, where it's like left, right. And I just grinded the fuck out of that move. And from that, it kind of spawned the rest of my Dancerush passion. And
we see where that we saw that where that went. Yeah. I see that.
Most of like where I've learned dance, I'd say a good 60% is from Min. Like after he goes to his dance classes, he shows up around 1 at like 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and then I just end up being there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let me just show you what I learned today," and then I'm just absorbing that. Free dance lessons, by the way, legit.
Yeah, I definitely love like the free dance lessons from like each community, like New York especially, because like we just like give each other like random ass tips for no good reason. But anyways, branching on forward, we talked about community about a lot throughout this season. Describe your guys' community. How long has Seattle DRS been active for, and what lore you guys got for me?
I'm going last because I'm like the newest one, so I don't know any of this stuff that happened before 2023.
I'm gonna point this to Alex. I think he started it all.
I don't know any.
Bro. Actually, we can track back to when the Discord was created, but I feel like Dancerush Seattle has been pretty much like very old as much as the beginning, or at least when it was released during round one. At least when this game was released during round one. But like I can look right now, like when was this Discord created actually? Because I know it was
October 15th, 2022.
2022.
I mean, it's much earlier than that. I mean, there was a Facebook Messenger chat called SCM Disco Nights.
Bro,
and
wait, Bryson, I think you might remember, but like, do you remember that we used to a lot of the community used to call each other Disco Nights a long time ago?
Yep.
That was okay. Yeah, I remember.
Essentially, I guess you could say there were 2 points where there were large communities. There was the pre-COVID community and then the post-COVID community. Because during COVID, everything shut down. There was not being able to play. But there was definitely large groups of people showing up. It's Friday, Saturday night for general play before Discord essentially blew up.
And and with that being said, like I still remember that I was a recluse and more introverted, so I have come across with people from the community. It's just that I just kept to myself, so I don't really remember the exact like full on details of the past. But like I know enough of the history that it's just like, oh, this is what happened, this is what I remember. But it's all just at this point, it's like, at least for me, it's like it's fragmented because I wasn't really hugely involved until like after like COVID and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically what little backstory of like the past was. And so because but I do know it was huge back then, like way more bigger. And right now we're still growing. I feel like this is more bigger than the last one. But yeah.
Well, I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Fine, I'll go ahead.
I'm on you too.
Yeah, I mean, pre-COVID was certainly big. Just, huge crowd on the weekend to play. And all kinds of different styles, all kinds of different backgrounds. A lot of rhythm gamers were coming out. It was the new thing at the time. It had only been out for 2 years at the time in 2020. And so when I showed up, again, just huge amount of people. I mean, some of the OGs that I remember were like Josh Deltix, Fishy. Everybody loves Fishy. He's like a local b-boy who was playing DRS. There was a whole bunch of other people like Alex Uwe Sauce, who doesn't really play anymore, but he's a local like rhythm gamer. He's Kaiden in 2DX. He's super good. By like him and Alan and Kumiko and a whole bunch of people were into it. I think even Christy and like a bunch of like the other people. Like Christy does like K-pop dancing and stuff like that. So it was super cool to watch her play. But yeah, huge crowd. And then as soon as COVID happened, I mean, everything obviously closed. And as soon as round one opened, it was pretty empty. And the worst part was that the machines had moved to be back to back, and you couldn't do trains. It wasn't really easy. And they were also off in a corner somewhere where before they were right by the mall entrance. And so you'd come up the elevator and immediately turn in and you'd see this massive crowd of people playing DRS. So a ton of people watching, huge crowds just gathering to watch. But it's been nice that in the past year, maybe year and a half, the amount of people who have started playing again has really picked up quite a lot.
It's getting revived, at least, just a little bit. Yeah.
I would even say more than just a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of people now. I mean, that local chat now, that local Discord is like 50, 60 people, which is wild. I mean, you probably don't see very many of them very often, but like the fact that they're even there and playing is wild.
Mm-hmm. I rarely get to see you guys during the day, so I'm monitoring during the daytime. Talk about like other old gen. Bryson, do you have any memories of the past?
Of Dancerush? Shoot. Well, like pre-COVID, having it be next to the elevator definitely brought up the hype. I'm gonna say a name here. It has a bit of a black stain against him, but Reese really helped build. Yeah, I see the nod here. It really helped build up that community pre-COVID, as he was one of the original streamers for the game, featured on Twitch. Hosted a couple of tournaments as well, and it's disappointing that he was banned from the arcade. Don't want to get into that, but I actually had a chance to talk to him, meeting up with him in Renton to ask him questions about streaming processing, and also to dive deeper into like some of the details of like why, getting it from his perspective, not just like from randoms at the arcade, but apparently like with him in that game, that was one of his kind of babies. He wanted to really give back something to that area, that community, for something he enjoyed, which was not only building up like a media presence, but just like dancing rhythm games as a whole. He was actually one of the players there that focused more on precision playing versus freestyle. So just like a different way to play the game. Played it more like DDR, but definitely another style to incorporate because it is a rhythm dance game with a score bar at the end of it. But yeah, it's interesting to see like older players now come back and give it a try again. Like you're better with the names than I am. I'm pointing to a person above me, but it's nice to see that people still care and that they show up and play and they have a fun time, which is the premise. So
let's see, we already got the old generation out of the way. Now let's talk about the mid generation, then the new generation. This is like this is like kind of like like a One Piece like type thing. We got the old era, the new era, and the future era right here.
I mean,
that's amazing.
It's never gonna end.
I don't even know if there's a mid era. I mean, it just was kind of a slow ramp up, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have the pre 2020, and then like death, and then like early 2021, and it just kind of slowly creeps up.
The timeline is just wonky at this point.
Yeah, I think from the perspective of a person that started playing like after COVID, it was I definitely saw like a lot of regular faces, but it was just like stragglers, you know? It wasn't really as consistent as it is now. And that's why I kind of say that I like to think of it as 3 generations, but I think it actually does make more sense to kind of have like a pre and post pandemic because that gathering of players just makes sense. I think also like having like a designated spot for your community kind of like signifies that generation, right? Kind of like with the first one with the disco nights, and then ours with the Discord now. I think isn't our Discord like over 100 people, like
That's
members?
a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, it's over 100
online.
at this point. Yeah,
57 online, 63 offline.
Yep.
Yeah, 100 plus.
Yeah.
You know, some are like from people out of state, and they're just kind of memeing, but it's still fun to think about that. Like we started off with like 9 people in that Discord, and that just
9, 10, yeah. Very, we started out very small, but then we got like word of mouth, and then we just gathered everyone as we can. Yeah.
Eventually,
literally,
I think it literally became the point where if you played more than 2-3 sets at a time, and a person from the Dancerush Discord saw that, they would be like, "Are you in the Discord? If not, let me add you." Right? And so I think that's how we expanded our cult. I'd say we were fairly successful. But,
on that as well, Sakuricon has also helped blow up this game because I can't count the number of people who've didn't even know the game existed. They were like, "I play DDR, cool." Then they've I'm terrible with names. It's not 007. It's one of the other female game players, but she learned about the game at
Sika, right? Sika?
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. She's one of the ones that was there just watching casually and be like, "I didn't even know round 1 existed. Wow!" Now she's a regular there.
Discord. Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Sakuricon, like, I'm working with the Reese right now. For not only a rhythm game panel at Sakuricon, but also to help with the positioning, because last year's positioning wasn't too good, but we're expecting a lot more of a turnout to be hyped about these games, as it's something that literally anybody at any skill level can just literally hop on and play. Hopefully a boom of more people.
Please don't put us in the corner of Sakuricon again.
We don't want that. No. 2 years ago, it was actually the front center game. There was only one cabinet, but it was the game of the convention. Like for the arcade area, there was a line of 20-30 people pretty consistently for the entire event.
I like that position more because like it was like right next to the door. Like everybody, it's like who's walking in, walking out can like see all of us like being over there, and they had like chairs like lining up and just like it was like it literally there. Like people can watch, sit around, just. It was amazing. It was like it was like I think it's like very optimal positioning, but I didn't know why it was like it was hidden away in the corner.
Yeah.
Like for me, it could literally just be just be there, because it's spacing and stuff like that. But as a DRS player, it's oh no, don't hide our game, don't hide our community away, don't put us in the shadow again. We already had that. We need our moment to shine. Don't do this to us. It made me so sad seeing it in the corner, but at least we had a huge community here and outside into SakuraCon and just hang out with us. Literally, it was the most funnest time I had over there, especially after a long day of documenting SakuraCon and work. It's just amazing.
Bryson, have you talked to Wes at all about SakuraCon?
Yeah, I talked to him a couple days ago.
Okay.
He's still working through some of the details of what we're going to be exactly doing, but
okay.
I'm excited for it. So
Okay.
have you been working with him too, or?
I actually plan on being here this year.
Yes.
Registration this year.
I'm gonna sign up for the registrations. I'm going there as the media guy.
If you sign up now, it's $5 or something. It gets extremely expensive.
So for those who are listening and aren't aware, SakuraCon is a yearly anime convention that happens in Seattle, Washington. Normally around March-ish.
March, April, yeah.
March, April,
yeah.
Anime, video games, one of the bigger conventions of the year. So buy your tickets now if you want to check us out.
Mm-hmm. We'll be over there, yeah.
Very, very cool. We have something very similar like that.
Oh wait, I interrupted. Somebody go.
Oh, where were we? We're in the quote-unquote middle generation of Seattle Dancerush.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any more input. Just it was nice kind of seeing it gradually grow versus hearing about how giant the community was before. So yeah.
I think we got the middle generation. Now we go on to the young and below me right now. We go for Min, our baby.
Yeah. I mean, I could preface it a little bit. I only went to the arcades. Okay, so I have a thing with Trapper Sushi. I freaking love Trapper Sushi. They give a lot of sushi. It's all you can eat. But there's usually a wait time. I have no shame going in by myself for dinner. So I usually go all you can eat Trapper Sushi, dinner or lunch. If I want to save $10, but usually I get dinner. And typically there's a wait time. So I would go to round 1, play some DDR, and then go and then eat my Trapper Sushi. So one of the days I was doing that, I saw the Dancerush. I saw some people playing Dancerush, and I was oh, that's pretty sick. I could never do that. And then I just went on my merry way to Trapper Sushi. And then I think I was more interested in DDR at that point. This was around April 2022. So I decided to get better at DDR because it's a very nostalgic thing for me. So I got more involved with the DDR community during the first part of my arcade adventures at round 1. It's kind of surprising to hear that I wasn't at round 1 every day, for my life. I only recently started going a lot, maybe in the last 6 months. But I would go to round 1 playing DDR, and then I would say if anyone is to thank for me going to round 1 a lot, you can thank Tao. She's the one that told me to get a Konami card. Because I was playing DDR not knowing that you can have a Konami card to save your data. I was playing DDR for 3 months without saving my data. So she told me about it. yeah, she told me about it. And then I got it. And then that's when I started to play a lot more. Fast forward, I think a couple months later, I think the DDR, the whole area for DDR was packed during December. So I decided to play Dancerush by myself. I think the first song I played was one of the DDR songs. I think Sakura Sunrise or something. Yeah, I liked it a lot, but I felt kind of stiff. I wasn't really used to dancing. And then I came back to it in February, and that's when I kind of got involved into the Dancerush Discord community. So I was invited by I forgot his name. If I remember, I'll mention it. But I met the first three people I met was Edison, Max, and Will. So these are the first three people I met from the Dancerush Discord community. I think this was right after Henry was visiting Seattle during February. So I just missed him. Edison and Max and Will, they invited me to play like Dancerush. This is the first time I ever like did a train or anything. So this introduced me to the community like in a kind of like in a physical like person like meeting one-on-one kind of thing. And then once I joined the Discord channel, then I started to kind of get pretty involved with the Discord channel. I played a lot more. When I say I played a lot more, I played like a ridiculous amount, like a stupid amount. I think Randy or can attest to it. And Edison, I would be playing like every day. I would play to get like 200 stars. Like I would play 10 to 20 sets, just back to back to back unlocking songs, and I would actually like think and breathe this freaking game, Dancerush. And I would create my own OneNote to make the fastest route possible to unlock all the songs. I was very like trying to min-max this game, which worked out because I was able to unlock all the songs in 8 months. But while this journey of trying to unlock all the songs, I met a lot of people, invited a lot of people, and I did see the community grow from when I started, which was February 2023, to what it is now. I'm pretty sure when I joined the Discord channel, there was like only 30 people or 50 people or something like that. Now it's like over, like, no, I'm pretty sure it was like 30. And like now it's like over tripled that amount. And we have like large Friday night like meetings and like sometimes Saturday night meetings. I think most of the time everyone comes on Friday nights. But it's like huge. We'll have trains with like 10, maybe like, 12 people sometimes. I think majority of the time it's like a 6 people train. But we just have like a really strong community. We'll talk a bunch of random stuff too. Like even like personal issues. If someone's having like issues in life, like we'll like kind of like help them out. So it's more than just like a dancing community or Dancerush community. It's more of like kind of like a second family almost, like to help talk about different issues that people are have in their lives. Like sometimes, for example, I just got laid off like last month. But this last month for me, because of the dancing community and Dancerush community, it didn't feel that bad at all. I've had my second job interview. Maybe I'll get the job, but I'm comfortable with how things are because such a strong community backing me up, and like I got a hobby that can like fill in time, so it's really nice. And I think if I had to shout out anyone that's not here, it would be Jay, but not you, Jay, the other Jay.
Our Seattle Jay.
Yeah, our Seattle Jay. He taught me a valuable lesson in counting. Like I was not very fluent in music theory. There's not even music theory. There's like basic logic, like there's measures in songs. Like I didn't know about that. But he told me about measures in songs, like how you can count in like it's like 4s or 8s. And when he told me about that, it made the game so much more fun because now I don't have to like look at and depend on the chart. I can just listen to the beat, and like you can majority of the time for any Dancerush song, like if you step on beat, you'll hit something. Like you can probably pass every song in the game by just stepping on beat without looking at the screen. So yeah, learning that, and Jay also taught me another cool thing. He plays at 1x speed for Dancerush charts.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he plays at 1x speed, and I play at 1x speed too. It helps a lot when you want to freestyle. Like the amount of information that you get ahead of time, and all you have to do is kind of memorize the order of the notes, and then all you have to do is execute on every beat. It's really nice to do that. And shout out to the DDR community too. Even though they're not as social as the Dancerush community, they're a lot smaller. But I also feel like the DDR community has helped me grow too, as a person, and making my steps time a lot better. The cool thing is if you play DDR and Dancerush, they help each other pretty well. Like DDR helps with your timing, and Dancerush helps with your stamina. So you play both of them, you get good at both of them pretty well. And shout out to another person that he's gonna be visiting soon. He's Canada's top DDR player, Nate. He's gonna be visiting Seattle coming up soon. He actually messaged me. I'm friends with like one of the best DDR players in the world. Next to Chris. So I've met so many cool people this year. Like in Dancerush, DDR, and dancing. So I guess that is my like Gen 3 feeling of like the game. Everyone is just so nice. I haven't met any shady people yet. And it's all good. It feels great. Actually, I've invited a couple people, and they've I'm not sure if they were memeing, but like it was like a Randy's like friend or cousin or sister's cousin or something like that, and they said like I helped change their worldview or like save their lives. I don't know what that meant, but they were like complimenting me about like me being a really good role model or something like that. I'm just playing the game. I'm trying to be a good person. So, yeah. Do you remember that guy, Randy? It was like one of your sister's friend. They're like they were like thanking me for inviting them to the Dancerush crew. They had a ridiculous name, dude. It was like it was like Pussy Slayer 206 or some shit.
Bro, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's definitely a meme. That's definitely a meme.
It was a ridiculous name.
Yeah, no, I'm much better with faces singing this.
Yeah. But basically, they were like thanking me and all that about saving their lives. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yes.
So that's kind of like where it is now. We're like in terms of the Seattle Dancerush crew, where we meet up every Friday night, and occasionally you'll see some people come on non-Friday or Saturday nights, maybe to like grind for stars, or maybe grind to practice, or maybe they sometimes like what I can remember is if someone has a bad day, they'll message it on the Discord, and then we'll have a couple people like meet up and like hang out with them, make their day better.
All right, this is completely off topic, not Dancerush related, but it has to tie in when Min was talking about how he first started and talking about Trapper Sushi. I have no idea how long that Trapper Sushi has existed, but I only started hearing about it like the past couple of months from Min and another guy in our community, Emerson, because during that time he would not stop talking about going to Trapper Sushi.
It's that good.
Like 4 plates of stuff. I'm just like, this stuff can't be that good. It can't. So I went like last month by myself. I got the all you can eat. I got the all you can eat, got the lunch plate. I was like, damn, this is really good. It was so good. I came back again the next day by myself.
Yeah. All right. See.
We're not sponsored by this place, by the way, okay?
People with similar interests,
It's so good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Well, and then Hunter worked there.
Yeah, that's true.
And now he says he's over it because now he works at a big fancy sushi place.
Okay.
Hunter's eating good now.
Up a level.
Yeah, I like the cheap stuff.
Yeah, I remember you, Min, telling me you like shitty boba. Yeah.
Yeah, I love shitty boba.
Yeah.
Well, if you want shitty boba, just make it yourself. Get the packs, get the packs of the Wajamayo.
Or get
Like
the
the
packs from like
powder?
Trader Joe's. Like they you microwave it, you just cut it in the corner,
Oh,
microwave it
this
for
is
45
boba?
seconds.
Hell, just get that
there's,
daiso.
Yeah, Trader Joe's boba. Apparently, It hits for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, I digress about that. We could talk about Trader Joe's later in this podcast because why not? Anyways, so I have this thing called Question of the Episode, and it kind of goes into more of our tangents much later. So what is one song that you want removed from the game?
Can it be 3?
It can be 3. It can be 3.
All the 50th Memorial songs.
You know what's funny? Since you mentioned that, because I was watching Eclipse East 2023, someone freestyled to one of the 50th anniversary memorial songs.
That's right, dude.
It was the one with like the DX pop and music. I'm like, and this guy, I think, I don't know how to say his name. I'm gonna butcher it. Chizu, I think that was his dancer name. He was like legit in like one of the like cosplaying as one of the pop and music characters, freestyling to that song. I'm like,
that's a big brain move.
Yo, props to him. Still want that song removed. I hate it all.
I feel it because it's like when you do the all songs, they're like the first 3 songs that pop up. So every new person that plays Dancerush, their first impression of the game is those like 3 songs. Because 50th is like the first thing you see in the all music selection.
It's numerical than alphabetical.
Yeah. So maybe if that's not removed, at least make it so that when new players choose all songs, maybe like put like better songs on the top instead of like those 3 50th anniversary songs.
Or just put them in like a separate folder or something.
Yeah, I shit you not. Like majority of like new players are gonna be playing those songs.
Well, a lot of
that or Lady.
A lot of other rhythm games have like a recommended folder, where like if you've just started the game with no card, it'll dump you into a recommended folder, and it has like here's all your pop songs, here's all your like popular songs, stuff that like noobs want to play. And DRS doesn't do that for some reason.
They done it for Dancerush, I think, right?
Yeah, I think
there's
most games do it.
Was it recommended for beginners for Dancerush? They have it for like pretty much every, like every rhythm game has a either sections, genres recommended for beginners. It's like top songs, stuff like that, but not Dancerush. You get if you start with no card, you get easy, which starts with like all the songs are like 1, 2, 3 difficulty, or
like all music,
all music, where like only 20% of it is available because you don't have a card. And then the top ones that you start, you got to scroll through it all. And the top ones you start with is 50th Memorial. So like a new player's like, okay, this is the only song that's available, and it's at the top.
They don't even think about like holding the down button for that shit. I was like, it hurts. It infuriates me. But it's understandable.
The only song that precedes that is like above that is 1, 2, 3 Jump. I mean, that one's not hyping it either, but like it's
you can listen to it.
I can listen to it. I'd rather do that.
No, most people don't listen. They just quick tap. Yeah.
For me, it's Move by U1 from DDR. I hate U1. I think all of his music past like DDR Extreme has been abysmal. And he was the sound director for DDR for a long time, which should tell you about how bad DDR was for a long time.
Are you talking about like in the 90s when it was like all Eurobeat?
No. U1 was the sound director from, I think, what was it? It would be 2013 until Ace A20, something like that.
So, you're like, so these are like the X2, X1 generation, the new pads.
X1 through X3 was all sound directed by Naoki. And then Naoki left the company, if you remember. Naoki left, and then they left it up to U1. And it wasn't good. And now I don't actually know who's sound directing in the new DDR games, but they're killing it. That game has unbelievable music selection right now. One of the best of any Bomani game. It's like a total 180 from like oh my god. Good. I played hundreds of hours of 2013 and 2014 and Ace. I never want to play any of those games again.
It has evolved over time, and probably for the best.
Alright, who else want to go? I can go. Definitely Mr. Egoism 110. Oh boy.
Here we go. Here we go.
I talked about this in the chat, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this. It was gonna be my pick, but I do want to get rid of that song. It does not feel right on Dancerush for some reason. At least for me, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
There's actually a video by Daniel Van Eden. There's like this whole like 10-12 minute videos like what song could be better than Egoism 110? Monkey Business 110. Yeah, Monkey Business 110.
Well, any.
Yeah. It's like they basically took the song. In the beginning of the song, I listened to it. They have like these air horns like like at the beginning, like trying to hype you up, you know. And then
MLG horns.
Yeah, the MLG horns. Yeah, they're like blasting that thing, right? So they're trying to hype you up for this song that's slowed down to 110 BPM. So the song goes like it has the same like kind of like that egoism sound. And mind you, I hate the song in like DDR too. So like it doesn't help that they're playing like a slowed down version of egoism like in Dancerush, and then it has like these like really slow running mans with like multiple slides in them, and then you got to slide forward, and then out of nowhere there'll be 16 notes like da 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 da, and then like it's just so weird. Like I can't enjoy the song. I don't like the charting. I don't know. I hate the name. I hate the cover art. You know, it's just
the cover art looks like he's high as balls.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably prefer the DDR version a lot more. Like at least
it's fitting as a boss song.
Yeah, it's fitting as a boss song. This is like
the cover art is crying. What the fuck?
The song is not actually that hard once you like you kind of like get used to like the step pattern. It's actually not that hard of a song, but it's just really weird. Like it's very weird to execute it. Especially if you want to even freestyle it. It's you probably could actually freestyle it. It's slow enough to freestyle. You just gotta memorize like those odd kind of like long slow shuffle patterns, and then those burst 60 notes. Yeah.
It's another bad U1 song.
First.
U1.
I really don't like U1's
music. I got beef with U1.
I really don't like U1's music.
He got that grudge.
I liked was it Cutie Chaser from DDR like 4th mix or something? I mean that was good, but everything after that I'm like it's not good.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, for my vote, I think it's also Egoism 110, but more kind of like a controversial opinion that I have is a song that I really dislike, and it's probably just a skill issue if I'm being real honest, but I really don't like About Right.
Oh,
you don't like About Right?
Oh,
I find that kind of shocking though, because Mistake of the Lake 4, you pick
Randy.
On Mistake
Do
of the
you
Lake
find that
4,
chart traumatizing?
Randy.
You find that chart traumatizing to you?
PTSD every single time I hear it.
Yeah, I understand it. I feel it.
2 tournaments in a row that song has stopped me, and I just don't want to face my. No,
you gotta face your fear. Come on.
Just play So What, guys. Just play So What at this point.
So what?
So what?
It finally released for the public to buy.
Oh yeah, I gotta buy that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on Dance Around with So What,
dude. Oh yo, when you got split,
yeah. Bro, when you saw Miku do the split,
bro, because in Dance Around, it's the choreography. You get down on, like your knees and you like spread your legs open.
Yeah.
Like that.
There's a bunch of quirks in that choreo too. There's I played Dance Around.
If you can see Miku's panties, you can see it, but it's been hauled out black.
Oh no, Alex! No,
I was playing Dance Around. First time I saw it, I was about to do it. I saw it, then I just screamed, "Oh!" And then like a mom and her child looked over at me. I'm just like, "Look, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it."
Bro.
You should have
never forget the amount.
I played the chart
times.
I played the chart on Dance Around. Was like, you know what? He might be overreacting. No, no, I didn't because I wanted to. But damn, I felt so much pride doing that. Yes. But it was just like, it was so weird just looking at that. Whoever done the choreography must be proud though. Yes.
Probably a little fruity, I say.
Yay. Welcome to the chaos, folks. It's
Welcome
amazing.
to the chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if we're trying to like say more songs that aren't unanimously disliked, like 50th or Egoism, one thing that I personally don't like that I wouldn't mind being removed is the normal version of Midland Mainline.
Oh, the extra
Like
stage
the-
version.
Like the music, for me, I really like the music, but the charting for it's so ass.
I think you don't like
Listen-
the ending part.
No,
Right?
the ending too is the worst part, but like I don't like the like back and forth, and that's pretty much the entire song. It's just like always all back and forth. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
It's like a
Like in
shovel
terms
cancel.
of and it's just that. I'm not gonna do that for the entire song, and then the end is just boring.
Like standing there menacingly.
And there it exists.
It's too long hold that goes like this.
Yeah, they move around, so like it's hard to do like any kind of, or at least for me, any kind of choreography for that since it's moving around so much. Like the best thing I'll do is just sit down and watch the rest of the song play itself.
Real.
Like the other version, the Running Man version for it, that's fine. They fixed the ending.
I feel like they improved on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I say for if I wanted to remove a song for myself, I think Poochie would be one of the songs I would remove from the game.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I played the chart. It's not bad. It's just not a chart that I would go for. It's not a personal favorite. Like, and it's not really. At least for me, it wasn't fun playing it on DDR as well. But I think I just have a mixed reaction when it comes to Poochie. Not to say I dislike the artist who done it, but like I think I just dislike the song itself as a whole. But I think I'm pretty just neutral on that opinion. I feel like if that's a song that I want to get rid of, and that's the song I would like to get rid of. Yeah.
I had to grind that out for a PFC on DDR when it was new. I hated that chart. I never wanted to play that again.
It wasn't that fun. Yeah.
It starts at half speed and then it goes double speed for the second half. And like I'm not good at reading slow speeds on DDR.
Like I feel like I played more Pump It Up than DDR, but like I feel like the slows work better on Pump It Up than DDR, but that's just a skill issue problem when it comes to me.
Well, also the timing window is a lot easier on Pump.
It's a lot larger,
way more forgiving.
Very easy.
Yeah, but yeah, that's basically.
I could add one too. It's not even I want the song removed. I want the song remade, like
or at least
like
the chart remade.
Not the chart. No, just the song. The Moti song. My name is Moti. I just want the announcer gone. Like, if the announcer is gone, then that song. That song is I think pretty good. That song is pretty good. I just wish that the announcer was gone. Yeah, I love the song. I kind of like the chart too. I would play it more, but it's just kind of obnoxious hearing the announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also really quiet.
Yeah, because I think they had to make sure
they boost the announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever mixed that was like not good. Skill issue again.
It was Bimani. Yeah.
Bimani skill issue. Do better, Bimani sound team or Studio Moti, I guess.
Oh. I feel like there's a song that I do want to improve on. It's like I think She Shines the Mirror Ball or something like that. That extra stage song. I feel like that song should have vocals, but I think that's just me. It is.
I mean, besides like the little chants, the the let's dance, the again, like I feel like there should be like more in terms of vocals. So I can see your point on that. I think for me, what about this one? Wowie Zowie by Hamaru.
Ooh.
No.
Oh, just gonna fight on this one. Okay.
Let's hear what you have to say.
It's just okay. Like it's just the charting. I mean, the song's fine, but it's just like hearing that little chorus thing with the I'm gonna butcher the sound effect. Just hearing the is kind of a bit annoying for myself. Just the chorus.
It did not register, by the way.
We did not register.
Okay, so what I was saying, it was just about like that whole chorus line. I mean, I like the little. I've only played it like twice. That's one thing. That's another thing. So again, skill issue.
Oh, that's the issue. You can play it.
I've only played it twice. It's just that synth in that chorus where it goes into that triplet thing. Maybe I can pull it up really quickly.
Isn't Wowie Zowie like a level 8 or level 7?
No, it's a level 7. It's the one 7? With like it's the one that has like the trumpet after the first chorus.
It's an old U-Beat song. It's good. It's well charted, I think. Other than the triplets don't register always super well on the pad. It's kind of weird that they swung that section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I prefer the U-Beat chart over anything because like I did play U-Beat for a time when I was like away from New York, so I actually like that chart. But the chart in Dancerush, I'm not really quite a fan of within itself because some parts don't. It makes sense at the same time, but some, in my opinion, they really don't make sense to me.
There's a lot of different songs that we can collectively agree, and there's some that's like songs that are like very to be explored, but it's not good at all. Not very good.
Yes, which actually brings my next topic. Like, what's our thoughts on those like filler songs, like from like the irrelevant Quiz Magic Academy songs, like Connect? Like, what's your guys' thoughts on those?
It's a filler song.
Well,
so
without
by like filler songs, it's like crossover. I mean, this is very subjective. Like, I for one think as filler songs is like anything that has like crossover with the Bamani, like that's like kind of not very
like
more or less
collaborations.
Yeah, collaborations that are less niche. It's not like the Bamani the Summer Dance Festival in 2020, like where they brought Egoism, The Speed Is, and electronic dance system music.
Oh, okay.
So like, what's your guys' thoughts on that? Like with the crossovers, I guess more on the crossover songs from the Bamani verse.
So I'm going to quote something that's commonly known in the Magic community. By appreciating the bad cards, you can deeply appreciate the better cards. These filler songs, yeah, they're mediocre. Maybe the crossovers, I mean, they might inspire somebody to play the game because they're like, I like that anime, or I played that game before, cool. But to more seasoned players, we look at them and go, cool, it's a different step chart, great. But then we can gain more appreciation for the really good songs and focus more energy on those.
Yeah, that's basically what I would say. Bryson explained it very well, and when it comes to like the ones that are just there to just be there, just to fill up the catalog, just to fill up the space in there, like yeah, I see it exists, but then again, like you have your favorabilities of which song you want to pick. Like it's okay to play some of these songs because like not to knock down, there are some good collaboration songs in this game. It's just that like half the time most of them are pretty much shit sometimes. But there's like some good collaborations that you would not, and there's some that you would not expect to be in this game as well, which is like it's a neat surprise and it's really fun to like see that come in there. But that's literally just how I feel about that.
So to tag on with you.
Go ahead.
To take on with what Alex was saying, a good example of this would be the introduction of Death by Glamour and Megalomania. You have two very recognizable songs from Undertale, Death by Glamour, a song about showing off and dancing, and the chart reflects that, and it's amazing. Megalomania, the theme, literally the theme song for Undertale, or one of the most recognized ones, and the chart for that is mid. It's like, how do you incorporate this hard level boss? Yeah, exactly. So go for it. Sorry.
No, you have to remember two things. One, a lot of the crossover songs go into every Bamani game. So like those Quiz Magic Academy songs are in DDR. They're in 2DX. They're in. I think they would have been in Reflect Beat if that game's still alive. Yeah, they would have been in every game. So you kind of have to push those off to the side and just think, well, those are in every game. Those don't really count, and not really count them as filler. For some of them, like licensed music, well, you have to have the licensed music. That's what brings people in. I mean, that's the whole reason why DDR Ace took off in North America, is because Dave and Buster's came in and said, we want Ariana Grande. And sure enough, that's what got people playing. For a lot of the other songs, you have to remember that this is probably the only this is the longest single version Bomani game ever. Every other single version Bomani game, Dance Evolution, and I'm gonna count Musica, because Musica had 2 versions when it was really a crappy initial version and then a much better patch 6 months later. Those games both lasted for 4 years and 3 years, respectively. Dancerush is now on its almost 6th year, I think. And I mean, the whole reason is because COVID happened and pushed everything back. So the game got a lot of garbage, crap content to pad out the timeline. I think that internally, like coming from a game development perspective, they probably had a content roadmap, and they probably had a whole bunch of content that was stacked up. And then COVID happened and all the arcades shut down, and they're like, oh crap, we've got to make up time, because in some regions of the world, arcades were still open. And, well, they needed to kind of extend that content roadmap out. So I think that's why it feels like Dancerush has more filler content than a lot of other Bomani games. And the easiest way to make filler content is to grab songs from other games and throw them in with a quick chart.
A very understandable standpoint. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it is a very disappointing, but there's a roadmap for most game developers. But I do want to move on forward, since we were talking about this earlier before we started recording today. Talk about the future of this game. We have a lot of concerns about the lifespan, whether the game's dying or not, whether if content from the game, like such as Gym 6, like I for myself thought Gym 6 was pretty okay. I just to name a couple of my favorites were Flashback by Muscaris and the new ZZ Stardom remix. So, what do you want to see in the future of this game if we see year 7, year 8, sort of say?
You're not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about dreams. I got some dreams of what I want.
We got wish lists. We got a lot of things on the table, but not.
Yeah, I'm kind of realistic about it. It probably won't last too long, but I've had my fun with the game. So if it lasts, then that's great. But if it doesn't, then that's fine too. Now I do real dancing now. So now it's like Dancerush with a bigger pad. So it's
literally
just
like it's basically the turning of a page if you think about it. Yeah. It's gonna, all things have to end, but as long as this journey was like fun and enjoyable, then yeah, it's okay to have a closing to the story.
Yeah. I mean, I do wish for like a new Dancerush like cab, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I do want like a better UI interface. Like the Dancerush UI interface is one of the worst UI interface for searching any possible song that you ever like would want to. It's like a list from like top down. You can't go like sideways. It sucks. Yeah, just like UI changes would be great. In terms of like song releases, we still have like the Spark Festival after party thing. That's I think that's guaranteed for beginning of next year. So there's definitely gonna be 4 new songs coming out. Maybe like another Stamp song, but I'm not sure how much more they can push out. Thinking about it, there's probably a couple of DDR songs I want into Dancerush. But yeah, maybe a nice chill level 10. That's not like Ride or Die level. Would be nice. I love Ride or Die actually. I love the song.
Oh, we've seen you do it.
I love that song.
I saw that premium of you doing it.
Yeah, I fucking love that song. That song is it sounds so good. It's a shame. Like all the songs I really like in the game. Maybe we can talk about that later. Like "Crazy for You," "Ride or Die," like "Set Me Free." I love those songs. Those songs are so good. But I wish there was like easier chart versions of him. And like "Ride or Die" is only like you can only play it on Dancerush. I'd love that in a DDR or something. That sounds like a DDR song too.
I think you'll probably get your wish once the game goes offline. I think it's gonna be like Musica or Reflect Beat, where they start porting over those songs to other games. I think also, as I kind of alluded to earlier when I said that they had to push the content roadmap out and kind of stretch it out. If you think about how now we're going on to year 6, then that would be, let's say they extended the roadmap by 2 years because of COVID. Well, then we would be on year 4 of the intended roadmap, which would be put it to about where Dance Evolution was in terms of lifespan. So I would definitely expect this coming year to be probably wrapping up Dancerush lifespan. Now, I will say, I think the 2 things I am excited for the future is, one, when the game goes offline, cabinets get really cheap. This happens with every single game that goes offline. Happened with Musica, happened with Beatstream, happened with all these other games. So I think you can expect the price of a Dancerush cabinet from an importer to just drop, just tank, because all the arcades in Japan are just going to just throw them away. So that's one thing that I'm excited for. And the second thing I'm excited for is I think now a lot of the people in our scene have moved on, as Min said, to dancing, as a hobby. And I think it's nice that now all of us have kind of connected to watch everybody grow and continue as everybody moves on to real dancing.
Like I said, turning of the page. This is a new episode. This is like season ending. Then we're gonna get that side story type deal. Just see what happens to go on with our lives.
6 seasons in a movie?
Most likely. But yeah, it's sad, but then again, that it's one of these days this must happen. Yeah, it's sad, but at least I get to know, at least for me, is that we have been together for a long while, and even though like it's been a journey, like we're going on to newer things, we're going dance offline, off the pad. We're taking out our training wheels and going onto the bigger stage, if you will, or the bigger scene. So yeah.
Speaking of that, if any of you guys ever want to go clubbing, no.
I can give you guys a nice link. One of the street dance studio, Beacon, that I go to, they're gonna host like a free house, like kind of a club. And house is kind of like DDR. You can shuffle too. It's very free flowing. And priority will be newcomers. So newcomers get first dibs inside the house party. It's like an old school house party. So they want to bring that back to Seattle.
There's a decent scene for electronic music here in Seattle. It's not like huge. It's not like LA or something, right? But there's a good club in downtown Seattle called Monkey Loft that a lot of people go dancing at. A lot of housers, a lot of shufflers, all kinds of people. They play a lot of various different kinds, mostly a lot of house music. It's a nice chill place for dancing. There's some clubs like Aura where it's more just you're there to drink and listen to the big artists, spin music. But there's a lot of decent small spots here.
Very nice. I guess we can move on over to a little positive more note. Since we did mention earlier, give me like 3 favorite songs from Dancerush in the game.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, yay!
Yeah, we were in a very negative like tone right there. I was like,
it's gotten very somber and sad. I didn't. Yeah, I want more positive stuff right here. I want today.
More the smiling sun from Beachside Bunny.
I hate that song.
Well, that song's not gonna be in my top 3.
So I think there's a clip on YouTube that shows like how players play rhythm games, and it shows like a DDR, someone playing like Max 300 or whatever, shows Dancerush where they're playing Crazy Shuffle, which I think we can all agree that's like the flagship song of the game. It's like has a heavy enough bass. Yeah, when people watch people playing it, it's ones that for many years people have done trains on. But I think that it's not like the number one song, I don't think, but it's definitely like top 5 or at least like most iconic.
It's pretty iconic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But favorite songs of Well Done.
Anyone want to start with their top 3?
No, man, you go ahead. You already got it down, didn't I?
Yeah. My top 3. It's a lot of level 10 songs. But I love Game Hacker. Game Hacker, like the Crazy Shuffle remix. It's actually a Crazy Shuffle and the Butterfly Twist song mixed together. Yeah. The part of the sound profile is like Butterfly Twist. And then it has the Crazy Shuffle parts. In my opinion, I love that song because, you know, if I want to play Crazy Shuffle, I play this one instead because it's like more variety, and I like the way it sounds, and that retro like that game like 8-bit like little chip tune kind of sound in the beginning. I freaking love it too. Yeah, so I it's definitely one of my top songs that I've been playing recently. And it gets you the shuffling, like it's one of my songs that has a lot of shuffling that I usually go to. And then like my second one would definitely be Crazy for You. That song is like ridiculously hard in terms of like scoring. Yeah. But I love that sound. And that song, Crazy for You, is actually the catalyst for me getting into house like dancing. That the song is very geared towards house steps. And a lot of the house classmates I show them this song, and they're like, yeah, this song is sick. Too bad it's only like 2 minutes long, so it doesn't really work for a house battle. For house battles, they probably want like something 5 minutes long so that they can just play it and have like both dancers dance to the song. But Crazy for You is like definitely one of my favorite songs too.
I like it had a sound segment to it.
Yeah. That segment with the single notes, the doom 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 doom, like the yeah. The 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's actually like 42 counts of like stepping. And then the my third favorite song, like I think this would be like as of now. I really do like Ride or Die. that song is so sick. I don't know why. Like the just the way
Ride or Die.
Yeah. And also the chart is so bullshit. Like it is so ass cheeks. Like
I like Trishan likes hard style, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's like a hard style.
I do like Ride or Die.
Yeah, that song is so sick, man. I love that song. But maybe not that. Okay, if I had to rethink about it, no, maybe not that song. I like the song, but the chart is a little bit kind of bullshit. Rock the Party. That is probably my new favorite song for the game. It's so good too. It's just the right amount of difficulty to do a good freestyle. It's really nice. I like that song a lot. So
it works very well as a train song.
Yeah. So Game Hacker, Crazy for You, and Rock the Party. Yeah. Those three are like probably my go-to like songs for Dancerush now. I just love all of them. Like they're very fast, very lively, and they all have kind of like a different genre for me. You know, like Crazy Shuffle. I mean, not Crazy Shuffle. Game Hacker is like this weird kind of like animation, kind of like shuffling style, and then Crazy for You is this house style, and then Rock the Party has this kind of like, I don't know, it's like I personally think it's like a hip hop kind of locking kind of song for me. I mean, that's how I interpret it. But yeah, that's how I see it.
I think I'll go next. Yeah, I'll go next. My like favorability with these songs, like in Dancerush, like have evolved like over the years. I think the most iconic one that I would say might be my favorite when it comes to iconicness is like Midnight Amaretto. It's probably the like go-to like electro swing song for this game. Like it's the song that I like. It's basically my baby at that point. It's like literally take a shot of Amaretto. It's like it's a really good like, and the chart is really fun. And when I'm playing that chart, it's like I think of myself as like a cartoon character when I'm playing that, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do a lot of rubber hose type animation type moves into this like song. I want to incorporate that old timey feel into my dance when I go into Midnight Amaretto. But that's like a number one. I think Bryson, you gave me this song. Polar Night, you gave me this song. It's a very chill song when it comes to Polar Night, but it's also, I think it feels more ethereal, at least to me when I'm listening to it. Like I will listen to it when I'm just like doing homework and just having like my DRS like playlist on shuffle. Like I get excited when I hear Polar Night. And I think for the old heads, I think like it's a spinning record song from this game. Higher was was the song that I really loved. And I'm sad that it got removed, but then again, it was a licensed song, so all's well that ends well. Oh no. But Higher was a go-to back then, but now like it's hard. Like I'm split between the newer song, like newer Sparkfest song, Insist, because I really love that. I love playing it on Nostalgia OP3, and like getting to dance to that song on Dancerush was really like fun. Like lots of high energy when it comes to that song. But when it comes to like DRS, like how I liked it, I think Love Me. It's the level 7 song. It's a very chill song. But then again, I don't go chill on some of these songs. I go very hard on them. But it's a very like smooth song, very like lovingly. Like I don't know. I have a bad time describing these songs because like they're just like very good. They're just like it sticks with me. But yeah, that's basically how I felt when it comes to that. Anyone else?
I'll go. So yeah, similar to like what Alex said, my song tastes or like my favorites have evolved as time went on. Back in the beginning, they were pretty much like pre-COVID. There were pretty much 2 songs that I'd always play. I'd say they're like honorable mentions. They're not my top 3 now, but like the 2 ones I always play them. The moment I head to round 1, these are the first 2 in my first set. First one is Disco Nights, because that's the song that pretty much put me in the game altogether. That's the reason why I was here. Like at that time I'd be sleeping and I could hear just the guy yelling, like the guy singing the lyrics of the song, or not lyrics, but like talking. After that, it might be shocking for some of you. It's as a runner up, it's Party Jumping. That's the second song I'd always play. I love that song. It's I like bumping like hype music, like stuff that gets me pumped up. But as of now, if I were to have a top 3, third place would probably be Joker. It feels like hard style. I really like hard style songs. Anything where I just really like makes me want to stomp my feet. Joker pretty much has that. Like especially the end part, I love that because it gives you a lot of freedom to do what you want. That's pretty much like one of the only songs where I'm able to like get on the floor and do something, but still score consistently throughout that. Second place, I'd have to give it to probably Meltdown. Like I really love that song. It's really good for cutting shapes. Still trying to get into that, but for that I feel like it's perfect. Though pretty much I like for me it's just a personal preference. I like the small like phrases that will be said in a song, like the beginning of Meltdown will be like row 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 rolling streets. I'll sing that. Like literally any song that I'm singing and I love it, I always sing it. Like you may not hear me, but I'm singing while I'm dancing. because I love those. Those are the things that stick to me in my mind. So yeah, I love hard style. So Joker, I like cutting shapes and like just it's chill, but also still gets me pumped up. And Meltdown. But for my all-time favorite, just like ever since I heard that song, it's always been at the top for me. It's got to be Make That Body. Like that song is the most hype song I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
Like
Or a 10 is hype.
like that's the one song where like it's a level 10, I could be exhausted, sweating all over. Oh, I hear that song, I'm going to kill myself playing my heart out to that song. Like that is the one song, I'm going to make that body move. Like I'll even like cuz like part of my routine I like to do like the pose where like he has his hands on your hips, you puff your chest up. I like to do that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to make that body move. Do.
Baby.
Yeah, it's always like in general I used to prefer level 10s just over anything else just because at that time I liked score high, score difficult, and that was pretty much level 10s. But then since I reeled back, I haven't reeled back that much because now I mostly like to freestyle to like level 9s and sometimes level 10s if possible, but a whole lot of them is like really hard for me to freestyle to. Like set me free you can. I'm not good at it. Let me see your dance. Hell no. There's no way. I cannot do it for the life
That
of
song
me.
is awesome.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Oh.
Like, I
get
cannot.
PTSD from that.
Like that's my take. Let me see your dance is the hardest song ever. Like Ride or Die's bullshit, but Let Me See Your Dance is just hard on a technical scale. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think for me, one of my favorite songs that actually really got me into the game, and it's always been probably my number one, is Stage. I don't know. I don't ever get tired of it in the way that I do with other songs, and I usually end up using it as a warm up or like, or sometime within my set. Right, I have to pay homage. It just goes so hard. It hits so many different points for me. There's so many things to play with, and like it's a kind of straighter shuffle song where it's just like a lot of running mans. But I kind of like that. It leaves a lot of room for interpretation outside of just the running mans too. With like with that giant pause in the middle, where it's just like everybody shake. There's so many combinations that you can do for that, right? But running up second after that, I'd have to choose like Official Bootleg. I really like that song. It really hits like or itches a part of my like bass house type of brain, and it just the constant just like wow hit on that beat is just so good to me. It can't really be competed with anything else. I think the whole entire reason why I even bought extra stage songs from like an unlocker overseas was just so that I could play that song from the first time that I heard it. And then the third song for me would probably be Garuda, but the remix version, because the original version is trash, absolute trash. But yeah,
I've been shaking his head.
It's not
It's
that
a footwork
bad.
song. It doesn't really work in DRS. Have you ever watched Chicago Footwork, like the dance?
Oh, I've seen a bit of it. I'm not going to.
Go look up some like footwork battle videos, like Chicago Footwork battle videos. Your mind will be blown. If you think people's footwork is crazy, you haven't seen anything.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And then you'll be like, "Oh, that's where that music's from."
Okay.
Oh. That's-
I guess I can go.
Yeah.
Well, big house head. Love me some house. So I guess it's no surprise that my number one is Go Down by many miles. I'm a huge fan of Comey. His music is amazing. After that, probably 8347 overall.
Ooh.
That is really Zek is also really good musician, really good producer, and it's just the chart is very it's straightforward in a way that's still interesting, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of opportunities to do stuff, and like the middle is freeform enough in the chart to where it allows you to do interesting things, but it's still structured enough to where if you don't want to like come up with anything interesting, you can just kind of, wing it. After that is a tough third place. I think I have to give it to Rayvology, mostly because of the chart is so good. That is like an OG chart, and it is so fun. Anytime I get a chance to play it on an unofficial machine, I will play it over and over. It's so ideal. But I mean, it's there. I will say DRS has one of the, well, I would say the first 2 years of the game was like the most mind-blowing song list for any Bomani game that I've ever played, because every song they would come out with, every update would be like, oh my god, that song's good. That song's really good. Kind of trickled out, but it was great. It was a really good run of like 2 years of just banger after banger.
We had a good deal with the spinning record songs, like Higher, Rayvology, even Space Cats as well was a good one. Especially seeing you perform, Evan, at SakuraCon. I was very, very happy seeing you play that song. I think with a San Francisco player, right? With you? Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I think I still got footage of this lying around somewhere. I just gotta find that shit. Yeah.
I wish they had leaned more into the EDM label licenses, because I mean that's really what the game was kind of thematically designed for.
Yeah.
But they just I don't know, after 2021 I think is when they like put their last license in. I forget. Their last license would have been I don't even remember what the last license they put in. Would that have been the Light? Would that have been the last?
Wait, Kazuna, yeah, the Light. Yeah, that was the last. I think that was the last one. Then they started removing stuff.
Well, they did K-pop in Korea. No. Yeah, well then they did some other like pop music. Like they put in well, I guess if you're talking about strictly licenses, they did the Undertale songs.
They put in Justin Bieber. They put in Ariana Grande in
that Yoasobi song. But yeah, all the like spin and record stuff, like that kind of ended pretty early, and I wish they had kept going, because especially like you listen to that was Let Me See Your Move from that's in Dance Around. That song is clearly like that was for Dancerush. We all know it. But they didn't put it in.
I refuse.
That song is nuts.
There's so many missed opportunities and missed potentials. Sad.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go next. I mean, as everyone here has seen me play, they know high energy, fast stuff, whatever. So lately, the song I tend to listen to the most, and this is when I'm driving, is New Haven. Something about it, high BPM, it's high energy.
Yeah, song is nice.
You just said New Haven.
That's
New Haven.
New Haven.
Sponsorship for you. There you go. Something about the chart is just like I was trying to learn it backwards. So on the bucket list, second one had already been called out. Go Down, another fantastic 10-footer, absolutely banger. Yeah, and then the last song on personal top 3, it changes depending on what's come out, what's been new. I've been really digging that recent song that came out last Wednesday. It's like Shadow Buns. We were talking about it. What's that? What's the song from the recent? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been loving that song so much right now.
It's like this weird house kind of vibe. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, this
For me, it's very ethereal.
Trancey kind of house kind of vibe.
Music artist is a really good artist.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Trance EDM music is kind of my whole jam. So, like, I tend to gravitate towards more songs focused on heavier treble than bass. So, thus the song selection, surprisingly, but Go Down doesn't. Anyway, yeah. Who hasn't gone yet?
Yeah.
I think we all went, right?
Everyone. I think I had to leave after this last question, so I have to leave after this last question.
No, my baby.
No. But ironically, we're about to be just wrapping up. Which
Wait,
is
really?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Are we good on time?
Yeah. Yeah,
are we past an hour?
We are past almost. Well, we'll see. Since I started the stream a little early, but anyways, for the so just to wrap up with this episode, because all my episodes wrap up with this one question. Say if I'm a brand new player to this rhythm game genre, and the first thing I saw is Dancerush. Let's say lifespan issues out of the window, we're gonna live forever. What would be your piece of advice to new players? Could be like one quick piece of advice to like
get up and play. Get up and play. Hop on the train wagon. I'll bribe you.
Bribe
you.
That's one way. That's one way.
I mean, yeah, literally just like if you see us go on a train or just like feeling you want to get on the pad, just get on the pad. Like literally, there's no shame into like getting into the dancing scene, whether it's outside the pad or not. It's literally no shame. I think it's just like just get out of your fear. Yeah.
What I tell people that are asking about the game when they see people playing is like, "Oh, what is this? How do you play?" Easiest instructions. It's DDR, but easier.
That's literally what Dancerush is. It's like it's DDR without the handlebars. No
t-shirt.
panel buttons.
DDR with
Put that on a t-shirt.
Ooh, market that. There you go. That's good. That's good.
That's new. That's new idol merch for you.
I think advice that I would give, if this is like a player that isn't necessarily like brand new, but like still relatively new, is to just find like a groove and rhythm within a song, right? Like just finding like a 1-2 and like finding a good like that feeling in your body where it just feels nice to actually step, and eventually you get to the point where you don't feel stiff whenever you step to the beat, right? Because that's like one of the main issues that a lot of people do. They get stiff-legged and they just kind of like, right?
Very robotic, yeah.
Yeah, it's very robotic.
Not intentionally, though. Not intentionally. Or
yeah. Sometimes
there's no isolation, no locking.
I got that stiff style.
But yeah,
Grandpa when he gets off the couch.
Just learn how to do a 2-step on beat and like finding a groove with it. Just be like, oh yeah, I can feel this. Is like my number one beginning advice.
Yeah, to add on to what Randy said, a lot of times people say they can't dance, but you know, everyone like when they listen to music, they like to move their body a little bit.
Tap their feet.
Yeah, tap their feet, something in the rhythm of the song. So usually, innately, when you're by yourself, you will be grooving to a song. Like, whatever you're doing in your car when you're listening to that song, maybe you're going like this or whatever, right? You just have to translate that into public. Like, that's all you have to do. You just got to translate what you do in private into public. That is the hardest part about, like, I think any type of dancing. It's being comfortable enough that you can kind of showcase what you are when you're by yourself. Because I know, like, when you're by yourself, you feel more at ease. Like, you're more, you don't, you know, you're not performing for anyone.
Zone.
Yeah. So you're doing what you're, like, you are expressing what you're feeling from listening to that song almost, like, the most honestly when you're by yourself, right? And that is the truest version of yourself. So dancing is just trying to express yourself for that song, right? Whatever song that you're listening to and expressing yourself, that takes a lot of like you have to kind of fight the demons of your own self to like just become controlled, just to become one with yourself. It's almost like philosophical at a certain point, right? Like
our inner demons, yeah.
yeah. You just have to be comfortable with showing your true self in public, and that takes time and practice. There's no need to rush it. So when you play the game, just like think of it in milestones. Think of it like how much more comfortable do you feel now than did you feel like the week before and the week before that? How much more do you think you were able to express yourself, like your true self, whatever that means to you, right? That takes so much time and so much effort that whenever you can like get a milestone and that it feels great. And then after that, adding the techniques that comes through practice. You can practice techniques, but being able to just authentically dance that takes a lot of practice, like to become your real, like to showcase your true self.
It takes small steps to take the first step in order.
And then you game the feels like crazy shuffle.
Go crazy, go shuffle.
Yeah, and I mean, don't be afraid to ask people who are, who you look up to for advice. And always remember, you don't have to go too fast, as Min said. There's a lot of people who I know, for myself at least, try to advance too quickly without really locking down the basics like 100%. If you can do the basics real well, then you're gonna get really far very quickly.
Probably the advice I'd give to a new player is, if I'm the one giving it, just simply, join us. Like if you see a group of people playing Dancerush, just join them. Like we find it really it's the best thing in the world to us to just have someone off in the stands like, hey, can I play with you guys? Like that's a dream come true. It's like, yeah, go from audience to player. Like, I mean, it helps with it'll help with your anxiety. You make less of a fool of yourself if you're not the only one playing Dancerush. If you're playing with us, that's just the easiest access to all kinds of advice. Like instead of just asking on the standby, just play with us. You get firsthand experience. You'll get pretty much ongoing advice from us. Pretty much anything you need to know. All you gotta do is just start the game, hit dance battle or like whatever it's called, group battle or something. Play with someone else, play with one of us, and I trust you. You will learn a whole lot more than if you just took our advice.
It's literally our community here in Seattle is varieties of skill levels and talents. Like we have people who sight read and just like go ham on just scoring for like playing for score. I mean, we have our score people. We have like shoutouts to them because they're not here. Matt, expert score player, like, and just like seeing him like reaching like excellences and like full combos. It's like it's amazing, but it shows that even if you can't really do dance that well, you can also play just for fun or just play for scores. Like literally, like a variety of talents, variety of skills. But we're always open to have people who want to learn and who wants to like engage, because like from audience to player, like I feel like that's a big leap. I feel like that's literally like the biggest like bravery that I can think of right there. Like it's not every day you get to like hang out with people like these. Like it only comes like every few lifetimes, at least for me. Yeah. Like get to hang out with these people, like my community, they're family, very much so. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. What you said there was about right.
I say
about right.
Oh wait, I got that pun. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay.
So join us so we can rock the party.
God.
We're making puns right now. Party jump in, a small step, the first step.
look at the audience. Let me see your dance.
I'm gonna go Uchu.
Ooch.
Uchu.
Yeah.
What's your name? Benjamin.
Oh man.
It's getting cold.
Uh,
It's polar nights.
Well, we can talk about all the fun puns that we can talk about this game, but I guess since I never said my piece of advice ever in the first season of the Moti Hour, for the love of God, please drink water and stretch during your rests too.
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
I think I need to take that advice.
Is beer
I had
liquid?
an experience. I had an experience where I played Majestics by Dirty Androids, and I tensed up. So please, for the love of God, stretch and drink water. And without further ado, that concludes this episode of the Moti Hour. Make sure you guys check out the Seattle. Yes, make sure to check out the Seattle Dancerush crew at SCM_Dancerush on Instagram and Dancerush Stardom Seattle on YouTube. We have pretty cool people on the Dancerush Stardom Discord server. We've been talking about it. And yes, we are very cultish, but we're pretty cool people. So join it up, discord.gg/Dancerush. Once again, discord.gg/Dancerush. We have plenty of people that are active on the server. We post random stuff about the game. We post our video performances, freestyle challenge, and also funny cats. So go and join it. And also make sure you're following the Moti Hour on Instagram for any updates about the podcast at the Moti Hour on Instagram. You can also hit me up there or you can email me about future opportunities to be featured on the podcast. That's the motihour@gmail.com. And for the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers and the live streamers, unfortunately, this is the last live stream episode of the year. So make sure you look out for the special holiday episode of the Moti Hour later in 2023. Well, guys, thank you guys for hopping on and talking about this game.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Of course. And happy holidays to everyone out there.
I say, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.